Hey everybody! When thinking about today's video topic, I realized that this time of year a lot of people are probably getting fish tanks for gifts and are now scratching their heads about what to do about them and how to keep all the fish alive while the tank establishes and what a tank establishing even means. So today I want to talk first about the importance of and the ability to test our aquarium water and what kind of test kit you should buy, and just a little bit about testing our water in general. And then we will go on in another video and we will talk a little bit about the nitrogen cycle and understanding what's actually happening in our fish tanks. But without the ability to test our water, there's nothing you can do about the nitrogen cycle except guess. So we first need to start with the ability to do some basic testing in our water. We're not going to get into all the stuff like hardness and general hardness and all that kind of stuff, but you do need to have the ability to test your pH. You need the ability to test your ammonia. You need the ability to test your nitrite, and you need the ability to test your nitrate. As long as you can test those three things, then you can get your fish through the startup cycle of a new aquarium. But you do have to be able to test for those things reasonably accurately. And that brings me to the type of test you should buy. There's a lot of argument within the hobby about the accuracy of the dip tests versus other types of tests. And I used to be of the mind that the dip tests were not very accurate and you shouldn't use them and so on and so forth. And then I started doing some experimenting with them, and I tested a lot of different dip tests. I took them from stores, I got them from different retailers, I bought them from different brands, manufacturers. And every time I ever compared a dip test to my API test kit or the CChem test kit, I always got the same results. And I long ago came to realize that those dip tests are at least as accurate as the API test kit. Because if you've ever used an API test kit, are we really going to kid ourselves into thinking that the API test kit is some highly accurate test? It's really not. On the nitrates, once you get above red, it's just red, and there's no way you can discern the difference. It's just red enough that you should be doing a water change, is the way I look at it. And when you come to ammonia or nitrite, you can read 0.25 parts per million or 0.5 parts per million, and you can read that on the dip test, or you can read it on the API reagent test in the little vial that you have to shake up and weight and so on and so forth. And even if they were more accurate than that, you don't need more accuracy than that. As long as you've got the capacity to tell that there's 0.25 parts per million ammonia in your tank, that's all the accuracy you need. And those dip tests will accurately give you that kind of reading and reliably give you that kind of reading. It's not some weird thing that each manufacturer does its own way. These are known reagents. These are known standardized tests. Unless you buy a test that's literally a ripoff, that's not actually a real test strip, then it's going to be an accurate enough test strip for you. So don't worry about buying fancy tests and all that kind of stuff if you don't want to get yourself bogged down with that, or you don't want to spend the money. Buying those little test strips is just fine, because more importantly than the accuracy of them is, are you going to use them? And if you think the little vials and having to shake them up and weight is too fiddly, or it's too expensive or whatever, and it's just going to sit on your shelf, then that's not a good test for you to buy. If you're just going to dip the little strip in there and you have a look at it and you've got an idea what's going on in your tank, that's the test I want you to go out and buy. I want you to buy the test you're going to use, not the test that's going to sit on the shelf. So if you're somebody that likes fancy gadgets and apps and new tech and all that kind of stuff, there's all kind of stuff you can get out there that links to your phone and you can see what's going on. If that's the kind of stuff you'll use, then that's what I want you to go out and get. I want you to use whatever kind of testing equipment you're going to use in your aquarium, because using it is what helps you know what's going on in your aquarium. It's sitting on your shelf doesn't do you any good at all. It's just a waste of your money, and it doesn't really benefit you in the hobby in any way, and I don't want to see you wasting your time and money doing that. So get whatever test strip you're going to use and have the ability to test at least for the basic stuff like ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, and testing your pH. And in the next video, when we talk about the nitrogen cycle, it will become a little more obvious why it's important to be able to know all those things. You can't see them in your water. There's no way to know what those levels are without being able to test them. And it's important to be able to test them to get your fish through a cycle. So make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.